Connecticut's #1 gospel internet radio station on a beautiful Thursday evening. And this is Action First Broadcast, and we are broadcasting live in the studio tonight along with Dr. Wayne McCray. What's up, my brother? God bless you.
All right, Dr. Jerry, how we doing?
I am blessed. And also, every Thursday we bring in a special guest, someone who's a blessing to our community. We do this every Thursday at 6 p.m. And tonight we have two icons, two legends in the studio. We have the one and only Dr. Deaconess Pamela Monk Kelly. How you doing? God bless you.
I'm blessed by the best.
Blessed by the best.
Yes.
And my man, Paul Hollywood Henderson. What's up, my brother? God bless you.
Blessed to be stressed.
Too blessed to be stressed. First of all, welcome to W.J.R.G.
Thank you.
All right. And Pam, you know, you and I go way back since true middle school. It's good to see you. Your whole family is blessed. And you, Paul, God bless you, brother. Doing a great job as well. Let's talk about, first of all, Deaconess Pam. You graduated the same year I did, 1973, 51 years ago. How has God blessed you and your family over the years?
Well, it's been 50 years, like you said, half of a century.
Okay.
And he has been very, very good to me and my family. I have 4 children.
Okay.
They all were high achievers, and 4 grandchildren and 1 great-grand. I'm blessed. I'm still with my high school sweetheart,
That's right.
Larry Kelly. We've been married since 1981.
Wow.
And we're still going strong. So to God be the glory.
Praise God. Yeah, I remember when you and Larry started dating and y'all got married, and that's a blessing, man. Tell Larry say hi, too.
I sure will.
I mean, and I got to say one thing. If Larry's listening, Larry's still my all-time favorite Lehigh player. We started Lehigh together. I mean, 4 years in Lehigh, and Larry was my man in basketball, man. So all the other ones, I love Sly, Donald Fleming, or the rest of y'all, but Larry's still my man. So how you doing, Paul? God bless you.
I'm good. I'm swinging. Hollywood swinging.
Hollywood swinging.
Come on, sing. Ain't nothing changed. I'm trying to get on the other side.
So
God a little better.
But let's talk about your Lehigh career. I mean, you said you played basketball 4 years, captain of the Lehigh team back in 81, I believe it was.
I was captain in 82.
82, okay.
Yeah, that was my senior year.
So tell me, what was it like, man, playing for Lehigh, you know, and being the captain and also play soccer? What was it like, your Lehigh experience?
It was good because I played since my freshman year, and I had the pleasure of playing with Dave McCall, Lightning Bostic. Then I played with Cedric Robinson, and who's going into the Hall of Fame with me. And that team was undefeated. We was 18-0.
Purple. Yeah.
And we was walking around the Coliseum with I used to cut their hair. I taught them into getting cowboy hats. And I think I was first with a sheepskin. Me and both Buchanan on General Hospital, One Life to Live. And we walked around, had the freshmen carrying our bags. And it was big. When you beat Cross and Bob Salisbury, it was major. You know,
so y'all beat Cross when you was playing?
We was 18.
Wow. Yes. Oh my God. Okay. Because we never had a chance. We never experienced that when I was at Lehigh. We beat Hill House. I remember our sophomore year we beat Hill House. And I was like, yeah, we finally got Hill House. Couldn't sort of the Cross, but that was good. Now, Deaconess Pam, you're a doctor now. God bless you.
Yes.
Let's talk about being a doctor.
Okay.
How did that come about?
Well, as you know, I'm in education. I started teaching in 1973.
Wow. Okay.
And since then, I went and received a couple of degrees. I have a BS in the 6th year in special education. I have a master's in school psychology and counseling. I have a administrative degree, 092, in educational leadership. And
That's a blessing.
I was going to mention it later, but I had a misfortune when I lost my son.
Yes.
And I lost him through the injuries he sustained from a car accident. So when I started praying and asking God, I had to find, I did a couple of things, I did a lot of things to try to stay grounded.
Right.
And one was I wrote a book about my family. So I do have 2 books that I've written about my family history. So I'm a family historian. And what I started thinking about, okay, I want to go get my, the highest degree, which is a doctorate. I could have gotten it in, could have gotten in educational leadership. I could have gotten in some other things, but God had been so good to me, so I went and got my degree in theology.
Well, I know losing a son is not, because my wife, she lost a son in '94 by the gun violence. I'll never forget that, and that's still to this day here, it bothers her.
Yes.
Because, and that was tough. That was tough on both of us. But, we'll continue to pray for the family.
Thank you.
Continue to pray for the family. Now, let's talk about the Richardson Lee High School. You guys started, you got your, every year you had a reunion, not every year, but so many years. How did all that get started? Let's talk about that a little bit. You can chime in too.
So this is the Hall of Fame.
The Hall of Fame, but it started with, you guys have a reunion too.
Well,
right?
I was involved with the citywide reunion, and that wasn't every year, but it was like every what you call milestone year, like our 50th or our 45th or 40th. So what happened with the Lehigh Hall of Fame in 2019? Well, again, I told you, as far as losing my son, I started saying, well, I wanted to do something after working with the citywide, something for Lehigh, but I didn't want an athletic Hall of Fame because all the schools were doing athletics. We wanted to do all different categories. So who's my go-to person? My friend Hollywood. So I went to Hollywood. I said, Hollywood, I would like to do a Hall of Fame. And he said, wait, don't do it yet. Let's wait and get some things together. So 2 years later, I went back to him. I said, Hollywood, God planted in my heart, and he told me to plant seed and water, and he'll do the increase. I said, I want to do a Hall of Fame. He said, okay, I'll take you to the right people. So he took me over to Hill House. I spoke with their Hall of Famers, and I spoke with Cross, which they were the same people that were coordinated. And so they told me how things I should include when planning this Hall of Fame. And so in 2009, that's when the first Hall of Fame, and we wanted to, again, like I said, celebrate athletes because they deserve the celebration, but we also wanted to elevate some of the other alumni that came through Lehigh. Like, you would be a perfect one for the Hall of Fame. So it's like a person that you did good in Lee, but it's what you've done, elevated or done since you left Lee. And since then, that our first one was in 2019. We did another one, and well, COVID hit. We had to change, and so we did it in so we do it every 2 years. And so now this is the third one, which I am so excited about. Oh my God, this thing is so incredible. And so Hollywood can chime in.
Go ahead, Hollywood. Let's talk about this, man.
Yeah,
first of all of us in this room is from Lehigh, even Dr. Wayne.
He
was telling me from Lehigh.
But when I graduated from high school to community,
But you went to Lehigh.
I went to Lehigh.
Lehigh affiliate.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You got some purple power.
That's some purple power.
It's a school with no windows.
That's it.
But I'll tell you what, we had fun at that school. We had fun at Lehigh School when we was there. Trust me.
But we didn't have any windows. I told Channel 8 that. But we had air conditioning. We had carpet on the floor. We were in luxury. So and they didn't know what we were doing.
Go ahead, Hollywood. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so and then another thing was exciting is the fact that Pam was also an administrator, a secretary, and was you at South House, right?
Well, I was in South House, yeah.
That was my house, and and Pam was always modest and nice, and to everybody. She had cheerleaders. She was just connected all the way around. So when she said, "Let's do something," we knew that they wanted the name Lehigh to fade out.
Okay,
And we basically said the only way we can save it, we start a Lee Career Hall of Fame, because eventually Lee was going to fade out and Career is a replacement school, but a lot of people don't know that.
Right. Because I didn't know that until after.
So we thought about it and said we would house the plaques in Career, because eventually that will end up being more career, because they're going to be around.
They'll be around longer.
And so, and then a lot of people didn't know that a lot of the guys, the Caucasian kids that came in was busting for Morris Cove.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know, and we had great administrators, and the basketball, the years that I played, I used to watch Larry. I used to watch all those guys, all the Kelly boys. I used to watch because they all had all the talent, and I used to say Earl was all of them wrapped up in one. He had a little skill from each one of the brothers, and I came in from New York, originally from Brooklyn, and I had stayed with my grandmother, and we was in Churchill South. That was the last place we landed. Was Churchill South. Came in to Ashman Street, 185. We left 185, and we was on Sylvan Avenue. Then we went to we went to Ashman Street, then to 185, and then to Sylvan Avenue. And my grandma was a Black Panther, so we was little Black Panthers. We had to get up. We had to get up with Tony Stewart. We had to march every day. And basketball basically became a replacement for my mom. My mom had passed, and we had to move up here. And then when I got attached to basketball, they taught me into playing soccer. And there was only so many freshmen, because when you came in, you didn't play varsity. I don't care how good you was.
So Larry.
Right.
So Larry started as a freshman. I remember that. Him and Bobby Williams, Joe Boy, Cal Carrington. I remember that team. I was always rooting. I was at all the games. Yes.
And then me and Earl was playing middle school, and we won the middle school championship. We played for Mr. A. He was the original White Shadow. So we was at Gold Street, and then my highlight was summer league. The summer league before you became a senior, and you played basketball. Whatever usually happened in that summer league, because imagine going to Gulf Street Park, and you don't get there by 3, you barely could get in. And we was playing. Earl must have got about 40 on us. And then he had the last shot with 6, 7
I
seconds.
get back at sports talk. I love this.
7 seconds.
Yes.
And then they thought it was gonna go to Willie Mills. They gave me the ball. I played like the doc. And they gave me that last shot, and I beat Earl and them at the championship.
My brother.
And that was major. And then we ended up playing during the season. I remember Salisbury taking them under the tree and saying, "Hey, you guys, whatever happens now, usually happens during the season. You let that guy make that last basket, and the season coming up, and it's gonna be the same way if you don't do something about it."
Oh my God!
And then we ended up going to the regional championship. But
that's all right.
I started doing. Penn was doing a lot of stuff, karaoke, and we were doing a lot of entertainment.
That's right.
And I was people used to come in with every show all the way back to Beauty Shop and say, "Yo, how do we get people in here?"
Right.
And I had started promoting.
Now I want to ask you that. What made you to get into the entertainment field, though?
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay, I went Tim
Brantley. Okay. God bless him, his soul. But Tim introduced me to Earth, Wind, and Fire. He had started playing Earth, Wind, and Fire, and Gil Scott.
Gil Scott in the
box. And it was so educational. And he took me to we snuck in the Coliseum. We used to run up
I
the
remember I started with a cigarette letter fight. Go ahead.
So we snuck in, and that was the year 1972, I think. And Earth, Wind, and Fire had the musician with them.
Okay.
And that's when the drummer was spinning upside down.
Verdi, they just put him in. I remember it.
And I was like, I gotta be
I remember Earth and Fire when they started with Sly and the Family Stone. They had the garden. But it was see, because myself, I was raised in music. My father had a record store back in the 70s.
Oh, so we went there.
Yeah, from an 8-year-old little kid, I was nurtured into music. That's why I stuck with music. That's all I wonder how you got into it, and not only to the level you got, because bringing them groups in
and then I started. I was DJ.
Yeah,
so
DJ, right?
I started promoting, Tony's and all the way back to Club La Joint.
Okay.
And basically Lenny Adams.
Lenny Adams, he had the black, the Blue Angel.
Blue Angel, and then La Joint and Club Eminence, and when he started,
Lenny,
he had the clubs going.
He was the first to drive around because he's coming up from New York with his Mercedes. Yeah, the Mercedes. That's his man.
He had Sickle Cell and rock all the guys.
Wow.
And then I used to see Cody in the leather bombers, and it gave me a New York flashback. So I started doing that, and then the sports kicked in. Matter of fact, I'm a percussionist, and I was playing my congos, and my brother Edward, when I started playing basketball, he took my congos, and I had the bongos and the congas, and Edward took over, and he became one of the members of New Generation. Okay. He's the lead singer in First Approach. He was the lead singer.
Was that the group with Booker, Euless?
Yeah, Euless Booker, Buddy, Grady, Buddy, Grady.
You know, helped start that group I did back then.
Oh yeah. Well, my brother Edward was the.
Okay. So we had a lot of fun growing up. I'll tell you, man.
Yes,
I mean, you even though you're younger, I got a lot of. I mean, I have so much respect for you, man, for what you're doing. Not what you did, what you're doing now as well. So you're doing a great job.
If I could jump in there 1 second, because we got a lot of history. I got a lot of history with the whole panel today. With Dr. Pim, from Thomas Chapel Ministry as a youth. My aunt, and she said to tell you hi too, all the way down in Florida. Merlene Dorsey.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Mother Merlene.
In the gospel choir.
Yes. And with Hollywood, we go way back. Even to the NYSP program. Me and him used to work with the kids over there. I wait for them to talk about that. With Queen. I used to handle all the discipline stuff. I made sure the kids learn the creed when I had to send them home. And I remember the creed. You remember the creed? It said, I'm a good sport at all times. I conduct myself with decency and honesty. I put forth my best effort in all competitions. Walk tall, talk tall, stand tall. Every time I see the kids now, man, they grown, and got grands. And so, but when I say that, their eyes light up. And we know that was very impactful.
We had all kinds of kids.
Yeah.
And then one day I said, Brother Wayne, some of these kids are quiet, but I think they got some talent. And I started a talent show. And this Chinese kid was like so gifted, and all of them performed in that talent show. And Queenie Edwards, I had coached with her. What happened was Hill House was bringing Kerm and them in, and they let me go. And she was like, "What? They let you go?" Because I'm on 6 state championships with Hill House basketball, and everybody think I'm a Hill House alumni, and so they used to ask me. I hear people say, "Yo, what the little chubby dude on the bench know about basketball?" They don't realize and I was in high school. I weighed 120 pounds. Wow. About 120, right, Brother Wayne? So I this all this stuff and my community service supersedes my sport because even in soccer, I played soccer and probably one of the biggest soccer games against 2 All-Americans, Dutch Burko and this guy Andy that was recruited by UConn. Okay. And it said Lee goes to Guilford to be eaten in the Lions Den. I was the only American on the team. Wow. Nobody spoke English, and I taught them how to chant. We're from the hill. We know we're skilled. And we went out there and we won in penalty kicks, and it was dark. So it was major, and I got busted up. What happened was the All-American, they sent across the ball was up, and because I had ups, I out jumped him, and his head hit my nose, and my head cleared to go, and we had to go to penalty kick. So it saved the game, and we went in triple overtime.
And looking at this paper, man, you're one of the honorees, man, for community service, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about the Hall of Fame, Dr. Pam, that's coming up next week.
Okay, so next week we have 15 inductees.
Okay.
And the hall or the wall was already, like Hollywood indicated, is erected already at Career, where we have the past 2 years. But this year, for professional achievement from the lead class of 1979, Emmy-winning sports television producer and director is Peter Cavalier. For athletic achievement, Lee's first football coach and basketball official, John Buddy Chernovich. For athletic achievement from the career class of 2004, the all-time career high leader in points, rebounds, and blocked shots, Gary Claxton.
Wow. Okay.
For athletic achievement from the league class of 1978, the second all-time leading scorer for Harvard University men's basketball team, Donald Fleming. For community service from the league class of 1982, our legendary DJ, promoter, basketball coach, and school security officer, Paul Hollywood Henderson.
Yes.
For professional achievement from the league class of 1983, the superintendent of Hampden Public Schools, Gary Highsmith. For professional achievement, teacher, administrator, mentor, and longtime member of the New Haven Board of Education, Dr. Edward Joyner.
Wow.
For professional achievement from the career class of 1992, attorney and national legal educator, Jeanette Manning. For lifetime achievement, teacher and administrator in New Haven, Guilford, and Westbrook Public Schools, Carmen Marotola. For community service from the lead class of 1980, decorated correction officer and youth coordinator for the New Haven Public School, Cedric Robinson. For humanitarian achievement from the lead class of 1978, 30-year employment specialist for people who have challenges rejoining the workforce, Khalid Rodriguez. For athletic achievement from the career class of 2005, world-class track athlete and coach, Natasha Warner Harvey. For lifetime achievement from the lead class of 1972, Pulitzer Prize-winning author and financial commentator, David Wessel. For lifetime achievement, teacher and administrator for 50 years in New Haven Public Schools, Charles Williams.
Amen.
And the humanitarian achievement for the lead class of 1969, Melanie Stein Wolf, a special education teacher in New Haven for 40 years. And tickets can be purchased by going to the Lee Career Alumni Association website, and that's lee-career.com.
And special about this, Jerry, that if you have something to do on Saturday, we put the Hall of Fame ceremony early in the morning around brunch time, 11 to 3. So you could go there dressed up, and then you could continue the rest of your day going on. If you got to go to your grandkids, any kind of function, you could go and do it and be done and have a good time. But if you come hang out with us, you might not make it to the other functions because it's gonna be that good.
It's gonna be that good.
And this year, me and SW1 is gonna DJ also.
Praise God. So Dr. Pam, I'm gonna give it to you, Hollywood, in a second. Being in the school system as long as you have been, right? I mean, and to me, 73. That's great to say. That was our class. Dr. Wade, that was our class. Okay. I mean, even I'll put like this here. I remember even with the graduation at Woosley Hall, stick up my diploma right there, right? And when they said the class of North Haven stand up, I think we was the last one that gave us got the awards. Man, it was I feel so honored being a part of Lee High School because the 4 years I've been there with Mr. Smith, 4 great years of Lee High, but I still feel that we never got our respect compared to Wilbercross and Hill House. I really believe that because I tease Bruce because they're doing sports talk. I got Bruce up here. He's from Cross. I got Donald Franklin. He's from Hill House, and I'm from Lee. So we have a little. Even we talk about sports. We have a little battle.
Oh yeah.
And I got to bring up some of my players. And he'll bring up their players. But I just feel we don't get our respect. But I'll say one thing: Jerry Green graduated from Lee High.
Well, one of the things for HSC. But the thing is,
what's that? Tell me about it.
we there was a lot of prejudice because we was dealing with a lot of from East Haven, from Morris Cove, man. I remember in the cafeteria, man. Listen, I gained a lot of respect in that cafeteria.
Right.
I remember one day Mr. Adamowski. Y'all remember Mr. Adamowski, the big giant.
Take his leg and play.
Man, what you saying? The big giant came and he scooped me up because I was going at it. I tell you, in those days, it was something, man, over there at Lee High.
I mean, we had a lot of great people that graduated. My boy Dewberry, he was.
A lot of talent.
WYBC,
a lot of talent.
At that time in the cafeteria, when we get out, the caf used to be jamming, music playing.
Yeah.
I realize all administrators, Pam, her daughters and her nieces, and all them administrators.
Right,
and then you got Gary Highsmith, who's a superintendent
of school now. Yeah.
But
well,
you look at all of us that all the stuff we're doing. Y'all doing the radio at a big level. Yeah. I'm probably in these shows with and if they look, I'm with probably more people in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes, you are.
That's true.
And
you had a great resume.
Yeah.
But I want to ask Dr. Pam again. Being in the school system, yesterday they had a school shooting in Georgia. All right, when that 14-year-old boy, brought the gun to school.
Yeah.
We heard about Sandy Hook and all these school shootings. What happened over the years? Would you say?
Oh wow! And
is kids that bad?
Well,
we was bad. Don't get me wrong.
We were bad, but we didn't come to school packing.
So
it was like when you battle or you had a fight, you say you won, you get, I give, and the fight was over. You don't burn down a person's house. You don't go shooting up a house. So things have really changed. But you have to also realize that mental illness is playing a
big part. Yes,
but understand this too. I'm on the forefront. I've been on the forefront.
Yes.
That look at all of the years that all these different areas have been beefing. We haven't had one shooting in none of the schools since 19. In New Haven.
Yeah.
So you got to credit to it's the people who was around them. Like over at Riverside, she had Riverside Miss Gibbs.
Yeah.
She took on all the trouble and she curbed them and got them kids on the track to go to college. And then you had me, Larry Young. You had all of us guys that was in that building. And you got to realize, them kids would get mad, but not one of them came back to that building with a gun in there. And you didn't hear no stories about somebody even shooting.
That's true. No.
And this is my 30th year in security. So I seen 30 graduating classes come through there, and we had some bad boys and some bad girls in that school, and nothing happened.
Because I can say this, if I'm wrong, I don't remember no gangs being at Lee High School. I mean, when I was there. No, listen. We had some bad boys.
There was gangs.
No, listen. When I was at Hill House, you had the survivors, you had the soul corruptors. Lee High, you had your little groups. We
had some gangs at Lee High. Our class.
Yeah. I was in one of them.
Yeah.
No.
But that was later on. See,
Later on.
we're still two different generations.
Right.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Because even
so we were dealing with, like I said, Morse code, man.
No, because me and Pastor Donald, your cousin Donald Morris, we had this discussion one day too, right? But like I know, even when we was coming up, we could not go over to Shelton Avenue. They had the Vanguard Teaching Center. You had the survivors over there, right? They had the corrupted soul
patrol.
All right, they had it over there. Then of course Rockview side. You had all them guys out there. But I mean, besides in the Hill section, you might have had maybe Buddha Greer and them, at the Hill Teen Center. But we really didn't have no gang. We was all more close.
It was more racial.
Right.
Things like you might have the Puerto Ricans against the white or the blacks. That type of thing. Because riots.
We had that race riot.
It was. Race
But you didn't have, like you said.
Exactly. Because we all knew each other. At Lehigh, it was like, hey, what's up, Doc? Even if we didn't hang out together, we still, if we went to a party, we knew each other.
The jungle wasn't built yet.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Church South.
Okay, your Trinity South was coming.
The jungle wasn't
there you
built
go.
yet.
Okay, all right.
70 something.
Okay.
72.
We was
And
out
it came out 73.
Okay.
It was putting the paint on it. And then by 75, the jungle was alive.
Okay.
You know,
We was out of school.
and everybody was. Then you had the Baldwin Street guys.
Right.
And Davenport Park was,
high
level. It's like almost like you couldn't go in that gate. They had the gate up so high, you had to look from across the street because there was a lot of betting going on. And then you had the Congo. So
the Congo.
And people don't realize Congress Avenue was like little Brooklyn.
But
one thing about y'all generation, y'all earned respect and y'all sent it out. If you seen Little Henderson on Congress Avenue, oh, yo, what you doing out here? You gotta go, bro. You gotta go. And then you had Fat Daddy Carr, had the pool room. You had all of them guys, the Galashaw brothers, and then you had
and the Panthers.
Yeah, my grandmother. So my grandmother was a Black Panther, and we lived right next door to the.
I remember the song, "Power to the people." Right on, my brother.
I still used to sleep on my living room floor.
Listen, Colleen lived right upstairs over top of us. They the ones got the school lunch in the school.
With the guns.
Dr. Wayne, I'll be honest with you. With me, my father had a store in Dixville. So all day I was on Dixville Avenue, and I lived in the Hill section. So I had both worlds. So I knew everybody.
Jerry and was over.
I knew everybody from both sides. So I got respect for the Dixville area.
And my brother Harris was 007. Him, Melvin Long on Congress Avenue. So they didn't play. You didn't go hanging out on. When you went to Congress Avenue, you had to go turn and go the other way. Turn down by the Ice House, and the Ice House still there.
Okay.
You know.
But
let me just say this: people don't realize that right there on where where the library is now, the Church's Chicken was. They had the mafia spot right there. And it was real mafia. And
Nick used to go there.
That's right.
I remember all of them.
Yeah. So. And the Hall of Fame, like I said, a lot of people need to know that they sold that building saying it was going to do something else, and it turned to Yale School of Nursing. So for those of y'all don't know where Lehigh School is and don't know that it existed, it's that building right there, that Yale School of Nursing, right there on Church Street and Columbus Avenue. And we have 4 houses, and Hill House kids. Cross kids, they used to sneak over and come want to hang with us.
Because we had the prettiest girls.
That's right. Down there, down where the pool area was, you rolled down that hill and everybody came out. You might didn't have windows upstairs and all that, but that cafeteria was the spot.
That's right. I mean,
and down in the moat, we had
a lot of fun going on. Class of 73. Oh my God! But
well,
I graduated 82.
82. Wow.
And for those that know, Lehigh was named after the mayor, Richard Siebert, and they really a lot of people that and that
Okay.
circle,
It's
political
political.
circle, didn't like them here. So
Yeah.
that's why they wanted the name to just go away.
Yeah.
And we made sure.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why they
That's
wanted the
why.
name to go away.
Well, the other thing I didn't know, because we were children, we were like
Right,
13,
right,
14.
right.
And I want to say too, I went to Lee from 69 to 73, but I came back and taught at Lee from 77 to 82.
Wow.
So I got to know
That's what I mean.
a whole group of people. So Lehigh is, I'm really invested in
right.
But we found out a couple things. Like I'm also on the Hill North management team. So I'm learning a lot about the Hill. And Miss Ann Boyd, I have to give her credit. She was with the Parent Association, Fred Harris, all these people. And they were fighting for the rights.
Miss Brown, Doris Brown.
Doris
Actually, I ran into her yesterday.
Yeah. So with that being said, I learned a lot from Miss Ann Boyd. But I found out, even when we were doing the interview, that this building was built out of stone.
Right.
So it was just similar to being in a prison.
Right.
And we didn't know that they said they can't believe they put those kids in that stone building. And so when I went over the other day, I said, you know what, they're right, but we didn't know, we just loved the environment and the people in it. But we didn't know that somewhere their mentality, and you're talking about Mayor Lee, he was having a surveillance on us. We didn't know that. All this stuff was happening.
That building that's across from Church
They were watching the black people in their neighborhood. So a lot was happening back there that we didn't know.
But I got to give two people credit to Dr. Wayne. Principal Shrek.
Yes.
And Ruby Harper.
Oh, yeah.
Because the reason called Salt and Pepper.
Yeah.
And when you saw them coming, all right, then I have to admit
Salt
too, I had Mr. Smith. I don't know if you remember Mr. Smith. Man, okay, he was rough. I'll never forget the time he called my father. Cool in the Gang was at UNH. I mean, I went to Tommy and Kelly's. I got my outfit ready to go. See Cool in the Gang that night. Mr. Smith called the house and told my dad I skipped a class. And I could not go as a concert that night. I was on punishment, and I was so mad at Mr. Smith. But then again, that same guy that helped me as a kid, him and Reginald Mayo, because I had him as a teacher at Troop.
But the man that was
kept me out of trouble though.
You know who was strong?
Who's that?
Mr. B.
That's it, Daddy B. Hold on, don't get it twisted.
That's right,
Daddy B.
He was at Troop.
He was at Troop.
You know, I'm talking about, but they was before you got to. And remember, we was bust out the Village Street School, and then Gold Street. Mr. A helped, and J. Reed. They don't say it, but them guys helped all of these kids who was, gang ready.
Yeah.
And Mr. A got hold to us, and Mr. A didn't play. Mr. A was, the white shadow.
Right.
And then he had started taking us to Naugatuck to get Procas and Converse when you couldn't even afford them.
Okay.
They started selling them out to school. We had pool tables, we had ping pong.
Right.
He brought all that stuff, and that was in that building. Then he developed for the kids that was over the top, that couldn't really stay focused. Like he had that room in the basement of Troop.
Right.
It was Trowbridge. And that's how
Trowbridge.
Trowbridge.
Yeah, I remember
Trowbridge.
We played basketball.
Yeah, yes.
Now, because didn't Mr. Shrek come from Troop, right?
He was with us at
Troop. Then he came over to Lehigh. See, but principals like him and Olivia Harper kept us out of trouble.
Right.
Because when we saw them come, no matter what you were doing, if you were going to skip class, whatever, you went to class. Because they really had a care for us.
And you see how strong they was.
Well,
and plus I knew if I got that phone, my dad got that phone call.
Well,
that's all it took.
I would just say we are all a prime example of the environment because of what we do. So it's stuck. Even my aunt, God rest her soul, Mildred Miley. She did a lot for the community and with the walking dolls, and a lot of people. From the arts. Came out of her, little organization, and they're doing big things in California, New York.
Right.
So it's always still seeds that are planted. Because I tell you why I said Daddy Beatty, because he was just because back then in school we got spanked in school, and then got spanked when we got home. And then it was okay because the parents know. And then he said, "What's my name?" Daddy B.
So we're going to wrap it up in a few, but let me just get back to the Hall of Fame. Dr. Pam and Hollywood talk about that again. where it's going to be at, where can people get tickets, and some of the honorees again. So let's talk about that again.
Okay, so the event will take place on Saturday, September the 14th at 11 a.m. It will start at Anthony's Ocean View in New Haven. It's not East Haven, it's New Haven. And you can get your tickets from Conwood or myself. You can also get tickets from Custom Teas, Kevin Seafood, and Samantha's
Style 2000.
Style 2000. They have tickets. You can also go online. You can go to lee-career.com. Let me go again. lee-career.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Hollywood, how excited are you, brother, to be inducted
I'm excited.
to the Hall of Fame, man?
I'm excited because when you stop and I think about all the stuff I did in my community service, being, like I said, on all the Hill House, helping them win championships.
There you go.
And then also doing NYSP, and then I ran the Connecticut shootout for Ben Hunter for almost 16 years straight, and went and got the kids, and ran the program, and now still with the school system. This is my 30th year. Then I've been with Yale New Haven Hospital. I still work at the hospital. This is my 18th year at Yale New Haven Hospital.
But with your community service, he doesn't mention it often, but I remember when my mother was ill or whatever, Hollywood was a person that would do for the elderly, when other people would turn their heads and, Hollywood would go, he would go visit the elderly. He would take them what they needed. He would.
He had a good heart. I tell you.
Yeah.
And I do that now. I do that now. I go to and then I put people like John Gary on stage with his idol, Ted Mills, Blue Magic. I always open them doors, and I never forget. Like to this day, I just did a show a year ago with Maya.
Okay. Yeah.
And her son. It was his birthday. And she said, I want to do something special. And I had Maya coming in for a show. And she was a superstar at that time. And she said, how hard would it be? What would I have to pay to have my son, ride? Or
I had a limousine.
Had a limo. You know what I said? I told Pam, I said, this is gonna be part of the deal. If I do this show with you, one thing you're gonna have to do is this young man's gonna have to ride with you. Maya still remember that because she was like, I was a superstar, and I was wondering who this young kid was that was being treated that special that I didn't have nowhere else where I had. And they had he had his entourage. They pulled up in the limo. And all his cousins and stuff. And so like I said, Lehigh, we're doing some big things.
One thing I do want to say, people look up to people. And I tell folks all the time, I hosted the Hollabacks Gospel Fest, been on many stages. And you'd be surprised how many people be in Stop and Shop or Walgreens, whatever. People, they know us, right? And people are looking for positive people. They want people that they feel they can make a difference, they can look up to. Like even when me and Dr. Wayne do this show every Thursday. I mean, I'm more excited to have my own radio station than any other thing I've actually done. Because it's something that if you have a dream, make it happen. And people watch us. People watching us, and we're gonna leave a legacy behind.
Yes.
Our family watches us. That's something I mentioned about my television channel. I got my grandkids way in Charlotte. They're looking forward to it. And like I told them, when I leave here, I got some of y'all do a work to keep it going.
And my grandson, just all my kids finished college.
There you go.
They ain't never come back home. But I said, am I a good dad or bad dad? But they ain't never come back home. And they have a beautiful house that they could go, but they don't care nothing about that. And I never had to go pick up none of my boys or my daughter from a police station.
There you go.
I never had none of those situations.
And
everybody knows them, but they low key. They
well, I mean, you're a good father figure, though.
Yes.
I mean, they don't want to disappoint dad. The same here. I mean, I grew up. I never really got in a lot of trouble with my brother and myself. I mean, we were raised right in New Haven.
Yep.
I tell folks, you can grow up in New Haven. It's about choices you make.
That's right.
See, a lot of people make them bad choices, then they got to pay the price.
Right.
You got to make that right choice.
And,
but I'm not gonna
all
hold you.
One thing, all the way around, when you look at everything that's solid and the people that are solid, you find somebody with that purple and gold from Lehigh.
That's right. In the mix.
Leading that charge.
I got to say,
Jay Wright is on the state championship with the football.
Right.
You got Gary Highsmith, the Hall of Famer, but he's a superintendent in Hamden. No, let me say Hamden. Yes.
We all got something to be excited about.
That's right.
I mean, yes, the great people came out of Lehigh. They said, "Does anything good come out of this?" They said, right? Yes, a lot of us, man.
Windows and no doors.
Great people came out of it.
That's right.
A lot of great folks came out of
Louis
Lehigh.
Hopper, the highest circuit judge.
Yeah. My first cousin.
Yeah. So he's strong, and we're still strong.
And we have Vanessa Avery, the one that's she's the highest lawyer for
lawyer.
Connecticut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can Lehigh super? Yeah, really.
Yeah, she graduated. Well, she's career. She's a
Career.
Okay.
Yeah, she's in
The
the
career.
Hall of Fame. But you fellas, we hope that you can make the
I'm gonna try to be the because I know 14th. I can look. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
We'll try to do that. But tell your husband too. I got to get him on my sports talk show.
He would.
All right. Tell my
And realize
because I'll tell you, I had Earl on the show one day.
You did have Earl.
And Earl said that him and Larry never played against each other. And I was like, what? That kind of shocked me. Being brothers, I know it's a 10-year difference or something.
Right. It's a big difference.
He said they never played. And I was scratching my head. I asked the guys, I said, how can you guys be brothers and not even play against each other?
The big gap. And then they were like doing Larry probably was at Syracuse or, somewhere else. Now Earl, but then you got 6 boys. All the boys could play.
I didn't know that. I knew Danny. I knew Danny. Ronnie. I remember Ronnie.
Earl. And you had
Ronnie worked at the hospital. I see him at the hospital.
Bobby.
Yes.
The only I remember was Ronnie, Danny a little bit, and Larry.
Right.
And I didn't know Earl until I heard about Earl.
Yeah.
I heard all about Earl.
He's going 60.
Yeah, I heard all about Earl.
But you know what?
He did the speed limit.
But it was just hard for me to believe. It was just hard for me to believe when he said me and Larry never played
I
against
never
each other.
thought about that.
And I said to myself, you gotta. I mean, even my own son. I mean, he was.
No what's special?
Him. When I first told him.
Another thing special about the Hall of Fame?
What's that?
All the Claxtons wore that red and white. The little Gary Claxton got that purple and gold for career.
W.J.R.G. the one on here.
Come celebrate Gary Claxton.
Who's this?
It's Bob McCormick. How are you?
What's up, Bob? Go ahead,
Hey,
man.
Bob.
Hey, what's up, Hollywood?
Oh, you know
Hello,
what
Tim.
voice?
How are you?
Go ahead.
Family side.
Hi.
There's a couple of things I just want to mention. Because actually, I'm sharing your show on Facebook right now. But one of the most, to me, the synonymous names that ever came out of Lehigh was Sly Williams.
Yeah. And I was going to talk about Sly because when Sly made the New York Knicks, his first stop was Washington Avenue Park.
Yes.
Paul, no, all the ball players, if they ain't played in Washington Avenue Park,
That's right. Washington.
that's it.
Yes.
Davenport was the bomb, but he's on Washington.
Yeah, Davenport too. Yeah, Davenport and Washington Avenue.
Go ahead, Bob. Make your point.
Yeah, and it's great to hear that Gary Claxton and Gary Highsmith and Mr. Williams are on that list there. But there are others who have come out of Lehigh School who have done very well. And one of them, Jerry, is a good friend of mine, Tony Dawson.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, Tony.
He's in the Hall of Fame already.
He ran for mayor and he was a police commissioner.
Yeah.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
He was in the first class.
He did Sly Williams.
Sly was in last year. And also Sperano. Tony Sperano, who coached the Miami Dolphins.
But that's good they got Donald Fleming going in there.
Donald wasn't going.
And the other thing you got to remember, we're just starting.
Yeah.
Hill House and Cross, they've been doing their Hall of Fame
And
for
people
years.
like you, Bob, votes. And you gotta nominate. See that, and that's one thing we want to make sure people know that they have to be nominated. You know, somebody have to nominate them. If they don't nominate them, they will never go in.
Bob, did you graduate? What school you graduated from?
I went to West Haven High, but had I remained in Upper Westville where I lived up until 1971, I actually would have gone to Hill House, and the other side of the block would have gone to Lee.
Okay.
That's how they did it back then. They divided blocks up and decided where the kids went to school back then.
All right, Bob.
You was a big supporter too, Bob.
Talk to you.
All right, man.
Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.
You got it, Bob. News on W.J.R.G. Okay, Bob. Thank you. All right, that's Bob McCormick.
But I'll be ready.
Yeah. Well, he does news on my station every day. But I want to thank y'all for coming.
Thank you.
Right?
Thanks for having me.
Man. I mean, it's a blessing. Wow, it's a blessing. Lehigh is in the house.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Lehigh is in the house.
South House.
North House.
Oh, Miss Green. Oh,
West House.
And my brother, I think he was in the West House. Yeah. But it's been a pleasure. I'm gonna try to make it, Pam. I'll see what I can do.
Well, you know,
I gotta go for biopsy.
And get them tickets, y'all. Come get these tickets.
But the other thing is, like, people that Hollywood started telling, if anyone want to see if they can be in the next one, we have a process. We don't just, people just don't be
we
put
don't
in
pick
there.
them.
They got first
you gotta be nominated.
nominate. You can nominate yourself. You know, get the form, fill it out, submit it, and then what happens? We do a public election, so people vote publicly.
Okay.
And then after that, you know, it goes through the
Process.
Yeah. So it goes through the ending process. But please, if you want to be in the Hall of Fame, you know someone like Bob just called in, submit their name and let us get them in there. But it's going to be a long time because we can't get everybody in the same year. It's like
do one favor. The negativity, let it go. Because like he just called and didn't even know those guys was already in the Hall of Fame. We want people to know that you have to be nominated, and we don't pick. We're not the ones who pick.
Right.
You pick the people, and you vote for them. So just know the process before you start spreading bad words about it, because you know God's not the author of confusion, and we're gonna just keep it positive. We want you to be in there. If everybody could be in there, but you gotta be nominated, and your people gotta vote for you.
Yeah, but everybody, I mean, everybody want to be in there.
We got categories.
Yeah, but you gotta put the work into it.
You gotta put the work.
People put the work in. They don't put
That's
the work
right.
in.
That's it.
You know, I mean, people want these, you know, they want success, but it's the work part that they don't want to do.
That's
You
right.
gotta work, man. You gotta work in your community or work in your
and then
church.
a lot of them said, well, when I was at Lee, I did this. But what have you done lately?
No, you ain't talking about living.
And so we want to know what you're doing for the people, what you know.
Continuous.
Yeah, and it's just not something that you say, well, I ran up and down the court for a whole 3 years, and I want to be in the Hall of Fame. No, we need you to be able to tell us some magnificent things on a higher level than just high school. But we want to make sure everybody get a chance.
Praise God.
Amen.
You want to say something, Dr. Wayne?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, when he mentioned Tony, Tony was like a mentor to me as well.
Okay.
I served with him in the Hill, as the Hill management team. I was a co-chair.
Rick Turner.
Yeah, and Sam Foster. And as y'all was talking about the Congo, because I remember those days, and Sam Foster was instrumental and changing the dynamics there. They with the Three Sister building, but they also built the John Daniels School there.
Mommy Moore was a big part.
Yeah. And also, I just want to commend you as well, Dr. Pam, because I remember when I was knee high at Thomas Chapel up in the balconies, Reverend Thomas and them, and I tell you, the Monk family, man, was a very positive influence and instrumental with my cultivating some of my gifting musically, things, I've been drumming forever, but,
And
Mama Monk worked together at CTV.
Yes.
And let me just say this, Mama Monk, that house used to sit where Eddie's still around, that store is still around, but it was right at that back of Hill House where the courts and stuff was, and they was instrumental. and people starting to get streets named after them.
Yes,
all
that's
that.
true.
The monk,
The
they
monk,
trailblazers.
Yeah.
They
Right.
trailblazers.
Yes.
And Miss
Yes.
Monk used
Yeah.
to take in. Everybody's related to them now because she took in
She had a lot of
everybody.
forces.
She had a lot of
45.
forces.
Oh,
She-
yeah.
She started that ball to rolling.
Yeah.
And when I used to go to, when she used to come,
Mhm.
they called me
Mhm.
and said, "Mommy's headed to the hospital." I rush over there,
Mhm.
and she pulling that in that driveway at St. Rayfield with that little house, and she'll stop the ambulance drivers and say, "You know Hollywood in that little house right there." So all my
That's
last
our
memory,
private
she was a
joke,
trailblazer.
All right.
Right.
Okay, we got to wrap it up.
Okay.
I got Bishop Steve. He's coming up
Yep.
in a
Okay.
few minutes. But Dr. Wayne, you want to close us out?
Well, listen, only thing I can say at this time, I want to thank you all for
Thank
stopping
you.
down to W.J.R.G Internet Radio Station and Action First Broadcast, where y'all are always welcome. And we're looking to do some big things real soon.
Okay.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. And we want to be supportive in anyway. We definitely have to have y'all back. I knew it was going to be epic.
Yeah.
So,
Purple
at this
power.
time, we say how the way we end it is take action first. So if y'all can say that with me, just say action
First.
first.
Okay.
Action
All
first.
right.
All
God bless.
right.
All right. All right. Here we go. That was good.
Okay.
Appreciate
We
it.
got to take.